Hello everyone, today is March 26th and it's my favorite time of year because we're going to get going on some tomatoes. We're going to plant some San Marzanos. These are seeds that I've been collecting for about 5 years now. And then I bought some new seeds, some Roma VFs from Burpee. They're heirloom tomatoes. And then also we're going to transplant some of our pepper plants here. We got 10 of them. And these ones are, see right here, these are King of the North from Livingston. They're an heirloom seed. They're designed to grow in our northern regions. Here in Wisconsin, we're a 3B zone. So we have a pretty short growing season. And then we'll be transplanting those using Fox Farm potting soil. Fox Farm makes really good products. I really like their stuff. I've been using it for many years now. I think it's definitely worth the money. So we're gonna get after it here. So how I start my seeds is in a tray, and I use these Jiffy peat pellets. These work great for starting seeds. And they're just a little pod like this. You add water to them, and then they swell up like this. So we got our pods in here. We got 84 in total. And now we're going to take hot water and slowly pour this in, and the pods will absorb all this water and expand. These are already starting to swell up. And we're just going to let this soak up all the water. Meanwhile, what we're going to do is transplant some of our bell pepper plants. We have King of the North. I got some small pots. We got our pots filled with soil, and we're ready to start doing some transplanting. And here is a pepper plant that we started in these peat pellets. As you can see here, we have some roots growing out from the mesh. And up here, you'll see we have the leaves. We got our first set of true leaves and our second set of true leaves. So we're ready to transplant. Now, I like to peel this mesh bag off. They say you don't have to, but over the years, I've noticed that they don't really deteriorate, and they've hindered some growth on some of my plants in the past. So I carefully peel that off. You have to be careful when you got some of the roots coming through. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to soak our soil with a little bit of water. We're going to take our pepper plant and our peat pellet, and we're going to soak that in the water. make it a little bit easier on the plant to peel off this outer layer. And it comes off pretty easily. Look at that, you can see the root system there. And there we go. Now we just dig a little hole down. Alright, and we just set that right inside there. Try to make the stem straight up and just pack that soil right around it. And if you want to, you can add a little bit more soil. Alright, now we're going to add some more water just to kind of blend everything in, so that way the roots can transition easily into the new soil with as little shock as possible. And there's our first one. Here's our 10 King of the North bell pepper plants that we have transplanted. Now, these I started on February 21st. It's a little bit early for starting pepper plants, but this is where we're sitting with them. Now over here, I have even more pepper plants that I had just started. And these ones are Chinese Giant Sweet. They're an heirloom pepper, bell pepper. And these are yellow bells, and these are seeds that I've collected. They're from 2023. And same here. These ones are red bell peppers. They are California Wonders originally, and these are ones that I saved back in 2023. And you can see down in there how many seeds are in there. There's lots of seeds in there, hundreds of seeds. So they're a few years old now. We're going to see how well they germinate. I'll open this up. You can see all that moisture in there. That just helps them germinate. Helps hold in the moisture and the heat. And we don't have anything started yet, but it takes a while. Peppers take a while to germinate. And you can see here I got a heat pad, and that definitely helps speed up the process, speed up the germination. You can see our peat pellets absorbed all the water. So now what we do is we kind of open this up just a little bit and then loosen them up. You gotta loosen up that soil. Because you need some oxygen in there in order for the seeds to germinate, and it kind of softens them up, because otherwise they're very firm. All right, so there we go. We'll go along and do that to every single one. And then so here we got our Roma VFs. As you can see, they're an heirloom. And then we have some San Marzanos that I've collected over the years. Been saving seeds for about 5 years now. These are San Marzanos. And here you can see the inside. How many seeds I have in there. There's hundreds of seeds in there. already went ahead and put the divots in all these and got seed in all of them, but I left a few to demonstrate what I do. So I just take something like this and just kind of put a little divot in there. We only want to go about 1/4 of an inch deep. And then we'll take a seed, drop it down in there. All right. And now we just go along and cover the seed nice and gently. You don't want to pack it down in there tight, because that seed has to work its way out of that soil. If you go too deep, it's got to work too hard to get up in it, up through the soil, and it may not even fully germinate. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on making more throughout the summer during the garden season. And later I'll be also doing some Cherokee Purples, which are also some seeds that I've saved. And then some Abe Lincolns, which are seeds that I've saved. And on here I made a note that these seeds in this package came from a 1 pound single tomato. It was a perfect tomato with no cracks. So hopefully these seeds turn out good, and this season we'll have some really nice slicer tomatoes.